She said, New Yorkers have an extreme aversion to landlords, mass transit authorities, electric companies, NYU and its students, local sports managers, and anything new. Speaking of new, Adam Horovitz. Hey, man. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for doing this, man. Appreciate it. Adam Horovitz. We got stuff, man. Relax. Have a seat.
Whoa, it's a high chair. It's a high chair.
It's a high chair.
Awkward. There's no like foot
There's no
bar.
foot thing, I know.
It's really weird. I don't know.
If you slide down, we'll have a PA lift you back up.
Wow.
Yeah, no, man, sorry.
I feel like I'm 7.
Thanks for
I don't know
doing
where to put
this.
my feet.
I don't
This
know
is
what
really
to do
weird.
with my feet either, man. It's like we have some feet for you here. I told
Finally.
you.
Jesus.
We had, these are the top guys, too. So Tim and Kevin, thank you, guys. Thank you. Oh, yeah. When we first started talking, you were talking about movies, and you were thinking about Caddyshack, and I was thinking, are you going to do Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3? That's another. You guys name check that in one of your songs too.
Fuck yeah, I love that movie.
Sure Shot. It's you. It's your lyric.
That was a big deal movie when I was a kid. Like I loved fucking Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3. I saw the remake, but John Travolta. John Travolta. Is I can't even remember his name, but Vinnie Barbarino. So I love Vinnie Barbarino, but like something went in and changed. Something changed with John Travolta. No? Am I wrong? Does everybody here love John Travolta? I mean, he's weird, right? He's a little weird. Scientology?
I think his hair.
Wow, I shouldn't even bring that up, I said that, I said Scientology once in a crowd of a lot of people, and the whole place went dead, and this guy was like, and that's all the time we have now for Beastie Boys.
No, but the Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3 is amazing because
I'm a huge fan of the Church of Scientology. By anyway, if anybody is from the Church of Scientology,
we actually have some literature.
Reporting back to the Church of Scientology, huge fan.
We have some literature we're going to pass out at the end.
Jesus Christ.
Also, easy question. Why did you want to show Up in Smoke with a group of people who you don't really know?
'Cause I thought it'd be funny.
Were you right?
It's pretty fucking funny, right? I mean, it's pretty fucking funny. It's pretty stupid. It's really stupid.
When was the last time you saw Up in Smoke?
I haven't seen Up in Smoke since I don't know when. Since I don't know, high school, junior high, like a really long time ago. And so I was hoping that it would be funny and not like fucked up.
Did you laugh today? I mean, what made you laugh in the movie today?
There's just little, just little things that Cheech does that are really fucking funny. Just like 70s LA stuff I don't know. There were some parts that were really funny. And I just like the really stupid pot jokes. It's the whole thing is like a really stupid pot joke, which is like not funny, but pretty funny.
The film did really well. It made enough that they were given license to make 2 more movies after this, and they made plenty of sequels and stuff like that.
That's right.
So studios dug it. If you're not in that world of knowing the drug vocabulary or the scene, I mean, do you think other people would find it funny? Do you think it kind of stands on its own?
Well, so I was taken to this movie when I was in the movie theaters when I was a kid by our friend, me and Max Danone, our parents' friends' kids. So we had these friends that were older than us, and they smoked a lot of pot and stuff in the 70s, and they brought me a child to see this movie, which is a funny thing to do. If you were a child of the 70s in New York, there was a lot of weird, inappropriate shit that you were brought and shown. And so, and then this record came out, and I listened to this record every day. I loved this record. So there's so many weird, kind of grown-up or older kid things that are talked about, like Quaaludes or I don't know what the fuck. I was like, whoa, that's cool. I want to have that. What Quaalude? I don't know what that is, but yeah, I want one of those. You know, like I loved Steve Martin.
Right, like the arrow through the head.
And it's Richard Pryor records, and like I don't know if kids, like children, listen to comedy records.
That's a good question.
I mean, I guess you just go on YouTube and you watch things that are funny, but this thing is it's just different. That's all. But so I spent a lot of time with this record.
And you guys kind of name checked them in Slow and Low, right? With the Beastie Boys, not Cheech and Chong.
Well, we didn't write that song.
Really? Who wrote it?
That song was written by Run DMC. That was the only song we didn't write.
The only song of the whole
career.
Wow.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. We didn't. Oh, nobody knows this thing. Maybe I have to save this one.
That's inside baseball, man.
No, somebody. I mean, if it's on the credits of the album. So, I mean,
No, read those, man.
yeah, they recorded Slow and Low for King of Rock and didn't use it.
Oh wow.
For whatever reason, and it's really great.
So the lyric was going to be "We're Run DMC, not Cheech and Chong."
Chong.
Really?
What makes more sense? What's the run?
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
the
two. Yeah,
So
yeah.
like, yeah.
How cool.
Yeah, and so we asked them if we could just use it, and they said yes. Even their version is way better.
Did you ever run into Cheech or Tommy Chong? Or
I've never run into Cheech or Tommy Chong or Ray Don Chong.
Or Ray Don Chong, yeah. Beautiful woman, a great actress.
I had a good idea for a movie, for a remake of the movie Splash, that I thought, and I'm gonna say it now, that I think that they should remake that movie starring Ray Don Chong and Slash from Guns N' Roses. And it should be just called Slash. And he just lays in her bathtub and gets high all the time, taking baths. And that's like the whole...
Write that down immediately.
So Hollywood, if you're listening, we got a lot of other great ideas like
You're
this.
listening and you're not offended by the Scientologist thing. Let's do it. Stoner films. I mean, my crew and I would joke, right, about stoner films. Do you like other stoner films? I mean, is this a stoner?
What's another stoner
That's
movie?
the thing. I mean, it's like
Half-Baked, directed by Tamara
Half-Baked.
Davis.
Like Pineapple Express is kind of a modern stoner film. Smiley Face. Harold and Kumar. I mean, there you go.
Harold and Kumar is a wonderful movie. It really is. It's wonderful. Yeah.
Friday.
Friday's good.
Dazed and Confused. This whole row. It's like a stoner studio right there.
Whoa! Stoner movie is The Monkey's Head.
Jack Nicholson wrote it.
Really? That movie freaked me out, and I walked out of it when I was smoking pot. It was too much for me. Or maybe it was the pot that I was smoking that was too much for me.
So much of what the Beastie Boys, in terms of like you and Mike and Yao, film became your work too, you know. Did you guys talk a lot about movies? Did you watch movies when you were on the road? Was that part of the like just being friends and watching movies and geeking out on movies?
Yeah, I think we're all into movies. Like you grow up and you're into movies and TV, and just like we're all kids of like generations of whatever, and that's the shit we do. And if like you were in a band and said a lot of dumb stuff, you'd probably talk about dumb movies that you liked and TV shows, and you know, we just had the mic.
Well, that's cool. You know, when you guys started making videos, you could see that. Like, we just saw Sabotage, 1994. Some director, guy named Spike Jonze. It looks like you guys are, you know, tipping your cap to movie love. Like, there's a lot of movie love. That was Spike's first.
That was Yauk. Sorry, that was Yauk's uncle Nathaniel Hornblower.
I'm sorry. Yes, I apologize. Of course. Yeah. No. Let's correct.
Collaboration between Mr. Hornblower and Spike Jonze.
When did you first meet Spike? What was your first interaction with Spike Jonze?
Spike had a magazine that was like Sassy magazine. It was like the boy version of Sassy. It was called Dirt. I'm telling for real, that's what it was. He had like this magazine called Dirt that was like extreme sports and like fashion tips for guys or some weird shit. I don't know what it was, but it was cool. I mean, I don't know, but and so we did an interview with this guy Spike, who somebody knew that somebody was cool, and he was like a BMXer or something like that, and he was a cool dude, so we should go meet him. And then we met him, and he somehow brought a couch to the middle of La Cienega Avenue and just put a couch in the middle of the street and was like, okay, let's take these pictures real quick.
Oh, that's cool.
So I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Did you guys kind of click immediately, you and Spike? Yeah. Aside from going around, kicking around New York and going to cinemas, did you like movies?
Well, growing up in Manhattan.
I'm glad you said that. You all heard that, right? Okay.
Why? What did I say?
There's tons of shit about where is Adam from? Is he really from?
Oh, I was born at Lenox Hill Hospital in Manhattan. And it says, because my brother told me, my brother and sister were born in South Orange, Jersey. And I was born at Lenox Hill Hospital on Park Avenue. It's not actually on Park Avenue, but it just sounds better.
It sounds
on Park Avenue.
It's like different strokes. Yeah.
I was originally from the Drummond family.
You look like Conrad Bain. You have a slight resemblance to the late Conrad Bain, yes.
But, so you grow up in Manhattan, it's like, there's a lot of movie theaters. There's a lot of, like, all types of different theaters. So you can see, like, the big hit movie, Star Wars I saw on 6th Avenue and 4th Street. But then you had, like, we used to go in junior high, go up to the Thalia and see,
Upper
like,
West,
Rock and Roll High School and Rocky Horror on 8th Street. And, I feel very lucky that, it's not like we were in the town where there was the theater that was like your parents had to drive you or someone had to drive you to get to see whatever the movie was.
Yeah.
I thank my dad often actually that he decided to move to New York.
Yeah, and create this kind of artistic place where you can play and get some.
My mom's favorite movie was The Hot Rock, since we're here for a movie.
Is that right?
Yeah, if you've never seen The Hot Rock, her two favorite movies was The Hot Rock and Viva Zapata.
Well, Viva Zapata, yeah.
And The Hot Rock is great, and they haven't remade that one, have they?
No, I don't think.
That's an easy one. That's an obvious one.
Yeah.
Nick Cage, but who today is the George Segal equivalent?
Wow.
No one can fill George Segal's shoes or Charles Grodin.
Kind of melancholy, half comedians, half actors, from the 70s.
Lonely Guy.
Lonely Guy,
Lonely
Steve
Guy.
Martin. That's an amazing film.
Has anyone seen Lonely Guy? Like in the
Oh,
last
it's great.
month?
It nails down what it's like to be single and go out to dinner by yourself. He walks in the restaurant.
I wouldn't know about that.
No, I know. You guys were thrown into movies first as a collective. You were in Tougher Than Leather. Who directed? I'll get to Crush Group, but who directed Tougher Than Leather? Rick Rubin actually directed that, which was a kind of Run DMC vehicle. You guys were thrown into movies. Was that fun for you? Was that kind of like come on guys, do it, or were you guys, hey, let's do it, it'd be fun, just to fuck around and be in a movie? Yeah. And Crush Groove as well, which was, I think, is a cool, super cool movie. Like, just to having the hip hop Hall of Fame in that movie, it's pretty sweet. Did you ever audition for a movie yourself?
No, that's what I thought I was going to be when I was a kid, was an actor. And I went on a lot of auditions, and my best friend Say will tell you, I was in a TV show called The Equalizer. And I used to go on auditions and all that stuff, and I was awful.
Did you ever take an acting class?
It's probably not a bad idea.
I'm not suggesting it now, I'm just saying historically.
I'm in a movie, Noah Baumbach movie.
What's the name of the flick?
Called While We're Young.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
And I played Ben Stiller's best friend. It's no big deal. It's just...
What was it like being on set with Ben and those guys? I mean, were you nervous?
Nervous? Come on, man.
Sorry, I lost my head there for a second. What did you think of seeing yourself as an actor?
I thought it was actually pretty bad. I thought it was like I was in The Equalizer, like in 1985, and I'm glad that I brought it up so everybody can go on YouTube and watch it, because it is really embarrassing. So that's what I love about the internet.
Well, one thing you maybe, before we get to questions, arguably a little more proud of, your scoring work is amazing. The stuff you've scored, you got to, the rigidity, the discipline of it. What was it like for you, being a composer?
And it was a lot of like, you make the piece of music, but it's only like 9 seconds. Right. And so you have to make this thing that's just 9 seconds. And then, so you make a thing, and they're like, yeah, but could you make it a little more like with this intensity of the emotion of the thing? I'm like, it's 9 fucking seconds. And so you do, and it was cool. I liked it. Coming from like hardcore and punk rock, like having to like just do things in a very condensed way.
Like a little sharp jag, yeah. Well, it's funny, these guys are all fans of yours and Beasties, but the mix-up, that album is amazing. I mean, the instrumental stuff you guys did was incredible. Questions from y'all? Yeah, right there, sir.
Legalize the weed, and I'll say thank heaven.
It'd be awesome if pot was legal.
Do you have any opinion on that whole situation?
Okay, so my stepmother's boyfriend of the past 30 years has been through some heavy shit. Post-traumatic stress, like real shit. He got shot and just a lot of crazy shit. He's from 60s. He's like a kid of the 60s, so he smoked a lot of pot and stuff, and he has chronic back pain, like serious stuff.
It's the best for it, I swear.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And now he lives in Los Angeles, California, and he can get pot as like a normal person can get aspirin or whatever the fuck you get out there. I don't know. And yes, I feel like there should be a legalization of marijuana. I think it helps in a lot of different ways. It helps pain, it helps a lot of different things. And people that are in fucking pain need it. That's true.
Knicks or Nets?
Knicks or Nets, what?
Like, are you a Knicks fan?
Yeah, I'm a Knicks fan. I'm a Nets fan.
He's like Clyde. Man, he's like Clyde. He's rocking steady. Yeah, in the back.
How you doing, man?
Hi.
Big fan of your music. Did you guys really smoke dust at St. Anthony's Feast?
No. Do we say that we smoked dust like actually at the feast? That's pretty funny. No. I guess I wouldn't remember if I smoked dust at the St. Anthony's Feast, but I don't think I smoked angel dust at the St. Anthony's Feast. I ate a lot of Zeppelis. I definitely smoked pot and went to the St. Anthony's Feast, that's for sure.
Yes, this young lady. Yeah.
I would actually like to hear about your experience on the Joan Rivers show, which is one of the greatest interviews ever.
Yep.
Very interesting. Joan Rivers had a talk show in the 80s for a minute, and Beastie Boys were on the talk show, and it was actually the best of all the talk shows we were ever on. But Joan Rivers was the best. Like, we do those shows and you're like, you're on you're just the person that's there that day, and there's 4 people or however many people are on, doesn't matter. You're not a big deal, it's fine. Joan Rivers came back before the show. She's like, who's from Brooklyn? Which one of you guys is from Brooklyn? And she hung out. We met her husband, Edgar, whatever it was, and the daughter, and she was like, you guys are great, and we should go to Junior's Cheesecake and all this stuff.
Yeah. Can you just tell me about like Scratch Perry and like the reggae influence? Because some of your samples and everything, and the reggae that you used and sampled was very obscure, like Half Pint, and can you just tell me about like late 70s, early 80s, like reggae influence of Beastie Boys?
My dad bought the Harder They Come soundtrack for me. But also, we listened to The Clash, to The Slits, to all the bands that, were really into reggae. And then, of course, Bad Brains came around, and we were like, all right, so we just, whatever they're listening to is what we want to listen to. But I was really lucky that, I have a really, I was going to say I have a really cool dad. I don't know that I want to say that in public. But my first record, I remember my dad, we pulled over to get a sandwich in his car, and he ran into this thrift store and came out and was like, oh, here, I want you to have this. I was a little kid, and it was Rolling Stones' Out of Our Heads album. And I was like, I didn't own an album yet. And he was like, I just want you to have this. And he didn't listen to the Rolling Stones, but he just was like, you should probably have this. He went to England one time and was like, this band is really big, and I haven't heard of them. I don't know if they're in America, but I bought you this record. They're called Culture Club.
You really want to hurt me.
Culture Club was way ahead of their time. You kidding me?
Yeah.
Come on, everybody.
What advice would you give a young person that's trying to come up in the business, be it music or film? What advice? You guys started someplace, native New Yorkers,
Don't listen to me.
But you're the idol.
Advice. I got really lucky, right? And so you know, I have like an apartment that I paid for. You know what I mean? And we got really lucky, and I have, you know, like, what do you call an extra cash?
Extra cash.
Extra cash, surplus. I got really lucky, and like I own an apartment and like a minivan, and so like, but like, you know what I'm saying? And so my advice would be like, you know, don't listen to what anybody tells you. Do your own thing. You know, that's what we did. We did our own thing, and you know. But then again, you know, if someone it's a hard call. If someone's got offering you money, you know, I don't listen to me really, because I'm gonna get you confused. Because so a lot of times if you just say fuck you, I'm just gonna do what I'm doing, and then you end up like not having the minivan. So
Adam Horovitz, everybody. Thank you so much, CBGB, Music and Film Festival. Thank you, Village East Cinema. We'll see you again soon. Thank you. Thanks, man.